As artificial intelligence grows and changes, people are using it in all sorts of different ways. Newer forms of that technology could even help you find love. KVUE's Darenisha Heron joins us in studio tonight to explain. Darenisha?
Hey, Brian. Yep, I'm back with another AI story, but this time we're talking about how it's helping people in the dating world. Surprisingly enough, a recent survey from the dating app Bumble found 46% of people polled in the U.S. said using AI can help them feel more confident when they're messaging a match. But when does that help go too far? I spoke with people on all sides of this conversation to find out.
Generative artificial intelligence is being incorporated into numerous aspects of our lives. Church.
Good morning/afternoon/school.
We believe that education should adapt to.
But when it comes to matters of the heart, you know, the main thing that separates us from technology, we're safe, right? AI consultant Ian Clark says the AI technology used on dating apps already decides your dating pool.
Match optimization. So that's using artificial intelligence to try to predict who will be a successful match based on the information that they provide to the dating system.
But lately, it's gotten a lot deeper than that. Large language models for communication, similar to ChatGPT, but for dating, have already hit the market. Keys AI is one of them. It's a dating coach. You download the app, which becomes part of your keyboard, and you can use it in almost any messaging app. Let's use a conversation between my producer and I for an example. It'll prompt you to take a screenshot of the conversation. So you take a screenshot and upload it, and then it analyzes the conversation. Then you choose your objective, right? So you can respond, agree, ask out, ask a question. I'm just going to go ahead and respond. And then you choose the vibe of the conversation. Do you want to be witty, flirty, sarcastic? Let's go with witty. And then it pops up multiple ways you can respond. Yeah, I like this one. Keys AI CEO Taylor Margot says they've gained 500,000 users since launching in early 2022.
Why are people interested? I think it comes out of desperation. So when people reach for Keys AI, they're basically raising their hand and saying, I have something I really want, which is better communication in my romantic relationships.
A similar app called Your Move AI was created by UT alum Dmitry Marikayan. He says with his app, users are getting more replies, which is one of the many signs showing the tech works.
I was spending a lot of time on dating apps, and it really just felt exhausting. Like it was a part-time job, almost like I was recruiting. I'd be matching with people, trying to come up with what to say, having the same empty conversations over and over again.
Dating app fatigue is something dating coach Blaine Anderson says is a growing issue.
A lot of the problems that my clients are dealing with is that they aren't great at relating to people and communicating because they spend so much time behind the screen and relying on technology. So adding another layer of technology or robot in is actually getting them farther from the target.
Both app creators say they're not trying to substitute human connection with technology, just help people be better communicators.
That would be ripping out the humanity of communication, which is an absolute dead end if you ask me.
So would you use the app? I walked around downtown Austin to get people's thoughts. Would you use an app like that?
Yeah, I'm a little bit lazy and I'm not a big texter. No.
I think I would try it just to kind of see how, and maybe you can learn from it. I mean, maybe you
can learn some game from it.
The idea,
yeah.
You can get the game.
Right.
Would that weird you out, or?
I don't know, if you're starting out with a false sense of who they are and their depth, I think that's going to be a problem.
I think if they use AI too much, it could become a crutch.
You want people to be able to.
Marikayan says that's the opposite of what he wants.
I want people to meet somebody in person and unsubscribe from my app.
Clark says some of the big name dating app companies don't feel that way.
What they're really optimizing for is profit. In the case of dating applications, there can be a bit of a conflict there because if you successfully match people into a long-term relationship, you've just lost 2 customers.
While these chatbot apps can be witty and helpful, AI is unregulated, and a lot of chatbots are trained by the internet.
It's top of mind and it's a struggle.
Fed by Reddit conversations, YouTube comments, blogs, which can make them biased, abusive, or deceptive.
It's got so good at communicating that it can be quite difficult to tell an AI apart.
It's already happening. AI devices are being used to deceive people. Deepfakes.
President Joe Biden recently issued an executive order to create new safety and security standards for AI. Taylor says he's voluntarily put safeguards in place for Key's AI, like internal checks and monitoring conversations. But with personal relationships, it's a fine line.
We're not in the business of deciding which kink is right or wrong, or whether or not we should or should not be talking about kinks. So our job is to prevent against things that are truly beyond third rail. However, we're not going to step in and start judging.
Experts say we have to move fast on regulations for all types of AI use because this technology is getting smarter, faster.
The 2 routes, we go all sci-fi mode, bots talk to bots, or we stay with the sort of like driverless car with a person in the driver's seat.
I'm both excited and nervous about the technology.
As many are. Just remember, nowadays, when it comes to matters of the heart,
I love you.
There could be a third party involved, and it ain't human. In Austin, I'm Darenisha Heron, KVUE News.
It's some interesting stuff, Brian. So I spoke with, as you saw, the founder of Key's AI, and he predicts that within the next 5 years, our definition of authorship is going to change because of so many people using AI. So he's saying we'll get to the point of like where once you put your stamp on it or once you hit send, then those are your words, despite if AI helped you or not. And he actually used the example of a politician. Mm-hmm. They do their speeches. We know that that's how they feel, but sometimes they don't actually write them. Mm-hmm. So
the authenticity is the part I can't get past.
Yeah.
If it's not you sending the message, is it really you they're getting to know?
Well, you hit the send, but
yeah,
I don't know. Things have changed. It's going to be an ongoing conversation for sure.
That's a great story.
Aren't you glad you don't have to deal with this?
I'm so glad I don't have to deal with it. Great story, Darenisha, as always. Thank you.
Thank you.